All we gotta do is win. So if they sleep on you, tuck them in. Meet me at the top. If you bought, I'll drop my pen. So many stars in the making, thank you, sing. Eyes on the prize, I say passionate. I got the sauce like Diana, vision like medicine. They say patience is a virtue, so I went around the world and back again. Now NSL be on the map, no more imagining, it's happening.
Greetings from the banks of the historic Rideau Canal, where we're expecting more goals and drama in the Northern Super League, presented by BMO, official bank of the NSL. Nigel Reid in the booth alongside former Canadian Youth International Jessica Lisi, welcoming you to TD Place as the Ottawa Rapid lock horns with the Calgary Wild. Contrasting fortunes for these two, the Rapid setting the pace at the top, the Wild still searching for that elusive first win. Jess, Ottawa, the league's joint top scorers. We speak so often about DB Pridham, but just look at this list. They're finding goals from just about everywhere.
They absolutely are. They have an array of talent. There's a multitude of players that can contribute to the attack. As you're seeing a player like Chu, we're used to seeing her in more of a defensive role, but she has that front-footedness. We're seeing her a bit more of a forward role. Mellenhorst, she's been fantastic for them. Forbes, Waite, Belzile, we can go on and on and on, Nigel, but there are so many talented players that can help create for this Ottawa side.
21 goals in total and counting. Let's give you a visual demonstration. The last time Calgary were in the nation's capital, well, they were on the end of a 5-goal whooping.
Yes, they were. And you don't score 5 goals if you can't score 5 goals if you're not doing something right. So this team is definitely a team that comes alive in the attacking third. They've always done really well at imposing themselves and their style of play in the opponent's half. They're very difficult to defend against. They have the IQ, they have the pace, they have the athleticism, but they also have that connection and they're on the same page, and that fluidity in their attack, their movement off the ball, all of that comes together for them, and ultimately that is one of the reasons that they're at the top of the table. 5-2
last time these two met at TD Place. One of the reasons for that was the appearance in midfield of Kira Mellenhorst, who's showing some silky skills here.
She's been one of the most exciting players for me this season so far, and you're seeing her skill set here in just juggling the ball, but we've seen that technicality come out on the pitch, what she can do in the attack, how she's able to find the back of the net, but also the work she's willing to do defensively, so a massive player for the Ottawa Rapid side.
This is how Kira Mellenhorst fits into the starting lineup for the Ottawa Rapid in that midfield slot, alongside Sadie Waite, who's one of two changes to the team selected by Katrina Peterson. The other is the return of Mel Forbes in that left forward, starting Golan and Jung drop to the bench for the Rapids today. A little earlier on, I had a chance to talk to the aforementioned Kira Mellenhorst. Kira, great to see you. I remember that last game against Calgary. Great game for you, breakout performance, 2 goals and an assist. But I'm interested to know how you think you have grown in the last couple of months. Now you get to play against Calgary again.
Yeah, I mean, I think a big thing for me as a new player coming into this team with a lot of returners was just getting used to the style of play, getting used to the players around me, and really kind of gelling with the team. And I think I've been able to do that and have grown since that game back at home in when we played Calgary back at the beginning of the season. So, yeah, no, I'm super excited to play them again and be back home in front of our fans.
Standards are pretty high within the Rapids camp. You start the day first in the table. I'm sure confidence is sky high, isn't it?
Yeah, it is for sure, but you know, we're not satisfied with that, and it's a big 3 points up for grabs to kind of build that gap there at the top of the table.
We wish you all the best today. Thank you, Kira, and enjoy the game.
Thank you so much.
Kira Mellenhorst also scored last weekend. Let's turn the coin over, Jess, and consider the plight of the Calgary Wild. Just 5 goals in 8 games. They are creating, but they're not converting.
Yeah, it's definitely no secret that this is a team that really has been struggling to find those results, still looking for their first win of the season, and a part of that is because of their lack of clinical edge that is in the final third. They're coming off of their strongest performance, I would say, against the Tides. They created a lot. You saw chance after chance see there off of the crossbar, but there were so many opportunities for them to be able to find the back of the net, and they weren't able to do it. So that's something that's going to be massive for them. Can they clean it up? Can they be sharper? And can they find the needed clinical edge in the final third today?
If they need to be sharper up top, perhaps Sarita Thurton is a player you would look to.
Absolutely, and we're seeing her deployed in that 9 role. In the last match, she was huge in her ability to play that back to goal striker, but also pull out wide and be very fluid in her movements and get those crosses in the box. So I'm excited to see her today. I think she is going to cause some issues for this Rapid back line.
So Sarita Thurton will continue to lead the line, and the head coach, Sinead McSharry, has made just one change to the team beaten at home by Halifax last time out. That is the reintroduction of Sonia O'Neill, who will slot in alongside Michaela Moore at centre-back. That front 4, Thurton, Bockham, Doherty, Howard and Jones, they have goals in them. Can they produce them today? A little earlier, I had a chance to speak to one of them, and here is my interview with Maya Jones. Maya, good to see you. We get the feeling, don't we, that the performances are improving. That first win isn't very far away, but how do you and your teammates stay positive as you chase that first victory?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just keeping the locker room and the team morale up high, regardless of kind of the results that we've experienced so far. I think as a team, we understand we faced a lot of adversity, and we know that it's been tough for us so far. And I think for the most part, our energy is pretty good, and our locker room vibes are very high. So I think we're good so far. We're good. Big
game against the league leaders today, but you've got to stay in the moment and believe, as you say, that you have the ability to break them down and score some goals.
Yeah, for sure. I think regardless of whoever we're playing, we have the same game plan going into it. So we feel good about today, and I think we can go out there and put a good performance.
Maya, we wish you the very best. Enjoy the game today.
Thank you.
Calgary's own Maya Jones, 2 goals so far this season. Can she add to that total today in the nation's capital? Warm day, 26 Celsius. Teams are on their way. Kickoff is just around the corner. Stay tuned.
Watching dough rise always fills me with inspiration.
Don't ever look at my savings account. The dough doesn't rise.
BMO has 2 simple ingredients to make your savings rise. Great interest rates and no monthly fees.
Yeah, that would do it all right.
Plus, get a cash bonus for opening a checking and savings account.
So BMO helps your savings grow bigger faster.
Like a triple dose of yeast.
You're hired.
What? No, I wasn't looking for it.
Yes, chef. Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
BMO.
First game. First whistle. First goal. First jersey. First autograph. First favorite player. First away game. First big win. First time thinking, that's gonna be me. Firsts help us move forward together. Toyota, founding partner of the first professional women's soccer league in Canada.
We are deep into stoppage time. Oh, they must be careful here. Oh, no! But hang on, they are checking it. It's going to be in the hands of the VAR. The goal has been reversed! They have felt everything it is possible to feel.
Warm welcome back to TD Place Stadium in Ottawa. Pre-match rituals are almost complete. Ottawa Rapid sitting pretty in first place in their dark blue kit. DB Pridham, predatory striker, the best finisher in the league. At least in my estimation, she causes problems wherever she goes. Watch out for number 22 for the Ottawa Rapid. Golden Boot winner last season, and already 6 under her belt in 2026. Ottawa Rapid will attack the goal to your right in this first half against the Calgary Wild, all in red. 8 games gone for the Wild, 2 ties, 6 losses. But hope springs eternal, and you just never know. When you think that this is a one-sided game, Jess, things happen in this game that you just never expect.
That's absolutely true, Nigel. You never know, and I don't think you can count anybody out. As I said, we're seeing this Calgary side come off of a very good performance versus the Tides. They did create a lot. They showed that they are capable of doing that and of causing threat, excuse me. So can they do it today? Can they be more clinical? But I absolutely think that sometimes the underdog comes out on top, so you can't count them out yet.
Our referee, by the way, is Robert Delesio from Lac St. Louis in Quebec. In the middle of your screen wearing yellow. And Ottawa looking to impose themselves. They will come in confident, of course. Is there any danger, do you think? I mean, these are professionals. Is there any danger of Ottawa underestimating the opposition just in terms of what we've seen so far this season?
I don't think so. I mean, I think that this is a team that, as you said, they are professionals. Every athlete knows that just because the team's at the bottom of the table doesn't necessarily mean you can count them out. Also, Coach Peterson has mentioned so many times how she has a certain standard for her team, and it's all about focusing on that and continuing to grow week in and week out. So I definitely think that this is a team, regardless of the opponent, they're coming into this with the same mentality and they're not counting anyone out.
Sadie Waite, wearing 11, will operate alongside Mellenhorst. Those central midfield roles. Talking of Mellenhorst, here is Kira Mellenhorst. Plays it out to Kayla Adamek. Everything to her left, just behind the front strikers, but it might come to Pridham. And then the shot in the end is a little tame from Mel Forbes and comfortable for Caitlin Talbot in goal for the Calgary Wild. Michaela Moore, New Zealand tall international, so important at the back line for the Calgary Wild, has a new partner alongside her. Sonia O'Neill recalled to the team in that back four. At the other end, Jaleesa Harris and Liv Scott here on the ball have played every single minute for the Ottawa Rapid. Very set and structured back line for the Rapid. Did that get a touch?
Sure looked like it.
I think it may have done. And the referee decided Last touch came off Tilly James, and it will indeed be the first corner of the contest, which will go the way of the Ottawa Rapid. Johanna Friedland, Norwegian, might leave it for Mina Lee, in fact. Does so. She provides the left foot option, but it's a short corner. Now Friedland takes another deflection and immediately another corner.
It's an interesting choice to play short in that instance when you do have Maggie Doherty-Howard very close by.
They don't go short this time. Friedland, more traditional. Keeper came, didn't get anything on it. They want to keep it going if they can. And it's in the end going to run and bounce out of play and behind for a free goal kick to the Calgary Wild. Trina Peterson, very set in her ways. As you say, she sets very high standards, but she does have that luxury, doesn't she, of having a settled team in recent weeks. There are never major changes, and why would there be with them sitting at the top of the table?
Yeah, you said it, Nigel. This is a team that has shown that they're so great, but as you're mentioning those high standards, when we spoke to Coach Peterson, you know, she mentioned we just hyped up how great they are in the attack, but she also pointed out that those are the places that she wants them to be better at. She actually wants to see those attacking connections come alive even more. She wants more options, more runs.
First chance to attack. Back line, but just overrun and out of play.
Maya Jones, definitely a player that the Ottawa Rapid have to be aware of. Her ability to find those spaces. She's very fluid. She's very technical, dangerous to go 1v1, has that bravery and that mentality to do exactly that. So definitely somebody they have to keep an eye on.
24 years of age, Calgary native. When he came through the Foothills organization, Mellenhorst on the ball. Played forward, Mina Lee well forward, trying to turn and shoot. She'll be disappointed. Made the space for herself, but the shot was tame and straight at Talbot.
She did everything right, everything you want to see in that moment, found the space for herself. As you said, Nigel is able to evade that pressure, but then doesn't quite strike it with enough conviction to really test Talbot.
Jones will make the run, but it's quickish turf at TD Place. And another half opportunity on the right-hand side fizzles out as far as Calgary Wild are concerned. Well, Dagenet, tall goalkeeper for the Ottawa Rapid. 2 shutouts so far this season for Dagenet. That's out of play. Adamek couldn't quite keep it in. James will come and take the throw. Adamek gets there ahead of Thurton, keeps it in play. Couldn't quite find Mellenhorst, but Friedland did well following up and trying to distribute to that left-hand side, looking for Forbes. Didn't quite reach up. Talbot playing sweeper-keeper. More fluid movement from the Calgary Wild as they look to establish a foothold in this game. Last thing they want to do is concede an early goal, little uncertain. Talbot again to the rescue. And over the top of Sadie Waite. The red shirts of Calgary will come away with it again. Moore, we just call her Mouse. James on this near side. Adamek did just enough, grew just tall enough to cut out the intended pass. Moore again, gives it away to Mellenhorst, never a good idea. Waiting for some positive options.
It's in those simple passes, Nigel, that they have to be cleaner as well. We speak so much about being able to execute and get the ball into the back of the net, but building out of the back is just as important. Can you connect those simple passes to help that build up and to create those big chances?
Friedland did well again, picks out Adamek as Mina Lee on support. Well, Adamek might go alone, does so. Lee on the follow-up, and a big double save from Caitlin Talbot, who's already earning her corn Adamek was allowed to run. Talbot was equal to the shot.
It's a great little ball through, and you see the awareness of Adamek as she continues to drive forward. The overlap of Mina draws more, and it causes Adamek to have that space, go inside, strike with her left, but that touch just getting away from Mina. Talbot making sure that it doesn't get on goal, but it does end up being a corner kick, so another opportunity here for the Rapid.
Friedland with the delivery towards the near post, repelled, but recycled by Ottawa, and then Mina Lee just took her eye off it. And it runs behind for a goal kick, and the pressure just eases for a moment at Calgary penalty area, but maybe the shape of things to come. That was an incisive attack by Ottawa. Adamek forced Talbot into the save, and then Mina Lee on the follow-up.
Absolutely, and just that awareness again you're seeing here. Ottawa Rapid right now first the ball.
Mina Lee, again, the defending is diligent, but at the expense of another corner. This time, Jorian Bochum. Sinead McSharry, the interim head coach, took over from Lydia Bedford in the close season. What would she give to experience a win for the Wilds today? Anything's possible in this game. Mina Lee down in the short corner again. This time it's Waits, the in-swinger. Pridham, more in the way, hobbling around. It's going to come back to Waits. Crowded penalty area, didn't quite make it. Might do this time. Harris, and deflected behind for another corner. Chaos in the Calgary penalty area.
Rapid making sure to keep the Wild on their toes in and around that 18-yard box. Ball after ball, delivery after delivery, and numbers. You're seeing chance after chance being created. Harris strikes that, not quite able to get it on frame, was deflected out.
Quick corner. Chu into the area it goes. It's deeper, looking for Pridham. There's the head up. Pridham again trying to bring it down, trying to settle it. Doesn't need much room. Can shoot with either foot. Calgary just trying to scramble it away. They do for the time being, but only up to halfway. And Sadie Waite, Chu, and Ottawa will build again. Chu to her left. Harris has the ability to ping those 50, 60-yard balls and pick out a team out. It's Friedland, another fine save. Goodness me, Talbot's been busy. Flung herself to her left, just got a left glove on it and tipped it round for a corner.
See Adamek perform somewhat of a pick or a screen on Tilly James. We're seeing another look at this opportunity here.
In the meantime, Friedland prepares to deliver another corner back for Waite. Curled in, Moore scrambles it behind, more uncertainty. And Talbot and Moore embrace. They've kept them at bay yet again, but you get the feeling, don't you, that that opening goal cannot be far away. It's constant pressure from the Ottawa Rapid.
They're definitely knocking on the door, Nigel.
I'd say they're banging on it with a big stick right now. Will they go short again? They will. Wait towards the back post this time. Mellenhorst gives chase. Chu's behind her. If she chooses to use her, she does. Korean Chu into the danger area again.
Just missing the head there of Olivia Scott.
Well, everybody's getting forward. Olivia Scott, the captain.
Well, there is a reason that we're having so many different contributors on that goal sheet, Nigel. It's because they all have that hunger. And again, simple passes from the Wild. They have to be able to connect those. That's exactly how you get yourself into trouble.
Harris chipping it forward, looking for Forbes. Lee, left-footed first time. Pridham lurks with intent in and around the penalty spot. Calgary struggling just to clear their lines. Maybe they will now.
Some good work there from Maya Jones.
Harris in the way. You know, he couldn't control it. Might have been a handball. It will be a free kick for the visitors. Not quite there, says the Korean, correctly. Well, the first 13 minutes have been played almost exclusively the Calgary Wild half of the field. Can they survive? Can they build a platform for themselves to compete in this game? Just get through the first 20-25 minutes without conceding, then they can start to believe. Maybe put some pressure on the goal at the other end of the field. Time being, more considering, looking for the direct route. Scott was in the way. Got it back with Geordie Howard. The right-hand side. Forward press from Ottawa, try and keep them hemmed in their own half of the field.
Again, more not clean with her passing. Has to be much better, especially when you are trying to break down such an organized team such as the Ottawa Rapid. You have to be able to move the ball with pace. You have to have that conviction in your passing. You also have to be very precise. You have to shift them out of their shape. That's the only way you're going to break them down.
So a turn from Forbes, Lee, and Friedland onside. Adamek ahead of her. Pridham is also there. Now Pridham looking to settle. Not quite on that occasion, but the occasions will surely come for DB Pridham. Friedland again. And waits. Trying to play it across the 6-yard box. Ball is out of play. And it will be a goal kick.
One of the things that Coach McSherry said to us, Nigel, was that she really, they really pointed out the threat that DB Pridham is, and how when they speak about, you know, they have a saying for the Wild, it's upgrade the shot, and that's something that they talk about in the final third, and being able to create good chances and good attacking opportunities and finding the back of the net potentially. She said she thinks of a player like DB Pridham and all that she's capable of in the attacking third, so she knows they have to shut her down early, and that's what they've been attempting to do, not give her any time or space. So can they do that for an entire 90 minutes?
Nodded on by Thurton, but no red jerseys in that area of the field. Dagenet for Harris. Has a habit of doing this, just lingering on the ball, inviting the challenge, waiting for a player to commit. Just rolls it for her captain, who returns the favor. Now Harris, vertically.
And just like that, she's able to beat multiple players with one pass.
Clever stuff. Adamek on the charge again. Loves to get forward, has Friedland with support. Into the penalty area, Friedland. Thinking about it. Mellenhorst, touch to her left. Mellenhorst will take it on. Mellenhorst scores the opener in the 16th minute. The goal's been coming. And Kira Mellenhorst gives the Rapid the lead against the Calgary Wild.
It was only a matter of time, Nigel. We said it. They were knocking on the door. Kira Mellenhorst, we spoke about her pregame and what she brings to this Ottawa Rapid side. So it's no shock to see her get on the end of that. DB Pridham involved in this as well, laying that ball off to her. But such a great goal from the Rapid. And we'll see it here, right? You have Adamek driving forward. She does well to find Friedland, who cuts inside, recognizes that she maybe doesn't have the shot, finds Pridham's feet, who lays it off to Mellenhorst, cuts inside, and doesn't even hesitate, does so well to strike that into the bottom left corner with her left boot. Well done. You're seeing that technique. You're seeing what she can do in the final third, Nigel. Just a little showcase of her skill. You'll see it again here, a little closer look.
Unselfish as well from DB Pridham. Good team build-up. And when the opportunity presented itself, Mellenhorst had one thing on her mind. She executed. That's her 4th goal of the season. Her 3rd against the Calgary Wild. What a great addition Kira Mellenhorst has been. As I say, often deployed. If you look at the starting lineup in that defensive midfield role, but my goodness, she loves to get forward and join in.
She certainly does. She has that the attributes of what a great 8 would look like. She has the ability to play in that 6 role if needed. She's willing to do the work defensively and be sort of that structural player, provide that for them. But offensively, she also has that depth to her where she looks like a 10 in what she can do coming forward. So she's definitely, in my opinion, such a great 8.
It was interesting when we were talking to Katrina Peterson about Mellenhorst a couple of days ago. The point I said to her was, well, how much freedom can you allow her? Is she going to be a 6? Is she going to be an 8? Is she going to be a 10? And, well, Katrina was pretty frank with her answer, wasn't she?
Yeah, she certainly was. And I mean, this is a player that she knows all the skill that Mellenhorst has. She wants her to have that freedom, right? She wants her to be able to be deployed wherever she's needed in that moment. And we've seen her play all sorts of those roles that are needed in midfield for the Rapid this year, whether that was her being a little bit more reserved in a matchup and picking her moments to get forward, or playing a little bit more forward-minded when that space is open for her to do so.
So the red jerseys of the Calgary Wild find themselves, not for the first time this season, chasing the game. Those are the possession stats. Better than 60-40 in favour of the Ottawa Rapid. That has been self-evident in the opening 20 minutes. It's been almost one-way traffic in favour of the home team. And they have the goal. Adamek stayed strong in the challenge. Fridland there inevitably in support. Good combination up that right-hand side, and then of course the curse of the commentator as they
Nigel,
get on separate pages momentarily. Amazing how often that happens.
It definitely does happen a lot.
But generally, it is a good combination, Adamek and Fridland. Fridland spent some time out of the team through injury, but she does make a difference on that right-hand side when she's fully fit. Adamek for Scots, and for Harris. Trying the direct route, looking for Pridham. Pridham looking to turn, follow up, fine save in the end. And it's not the first time that Talbot's been called into action. I think it was Mel Forbes with the shot. Talbot just grew enough to push it over the top for yet another corner.
Well, one thing you can certainly count on is that connection between Harris and Pridham. She plays these long balls often, and you can see the nuisance that Pridham always makes of herself. That's one of the reasons she's so great. Ends up dropping this ball to Mel Forbes, who skies it, isn't quite able to get her body shape over top of the ball, just ends up getting underneath it. But again, that tenacity that you see in Pridham, it consistently causes issues for every opponent's back line.
This is obviously something they've been working on the training field, the short corner weight. Referee saw some pushing and shoving in the penalty area in the build-up. So the Calgary Wild can breathe again, at least momentarily. Kayla Moore will take the resulting free kick, just around about the penalty spot. And Talbot doesn't want it anywhere near her penalty area if she can manage it. Finds to pick out Sarita Thurton.
We're seeing the support come for Thurton way too late. There has to be options right underneath her when she receives that ball back to goal. Can she lay it off? Can she spin? But instead she's left all alone, stranded on an island and looking for some sort of help and outlet. And now they're back in their own half.
All the way back to Talbot, indeed, who decides to play some football against Pridham. And they're inviting more pressure now, Calgary, as if they needed to. Pridham's a little slow. She's still on her haunches there. After that, coming together with the Calgary goalkeeper. She's up now, moving a little gingerly. There is DB Pridham. Bit of a painful grimace, but she's had worse.
Looks like she might have just rolled over her ankle in that contact with Talbot. But yes, thankfully back to her feet and moving.
Yeah, she certainly came to, I wouldn't say blows, but certainly came in contact as she tried to rob Talbot of the ball. Clearly it's She doesn't think it's anything major. She can run it off. Let's hope that that is the case. So we're midway through the first half. That's TD Place. It's a warm day in the nation's capital. We will see the first hydration break of the game. Well, Dagenais has had a very light workload so far, but I mean, it's obvious to say, but the Ottawa Rapid, Jess, have been, to put it mildly, on the front foot.
Yeah, they certainly have, and they've been the better side. That's no secret to anybody that's been watching the first bit of this matchup. But I think, you know, when we spoke to McSherry, one of the things that she mentioned to us was, as much as they would love to be that team that's patient and is able to build out of the back, that's not them. That's not their strong suit. Their strong suit is being able to get all forces forward, still have that attacking balance, but look for those transitional moments, especially against a side like the Ottawa Rapid, who are very front-footed and who do like to get their wing-backs involved in a Chu, in an Adamek. So can they catch them in those moments? Can they be solid defensively to then take that transition and attack the opposite way?
Katrina Peterson imparting some wisdom to her players, but with just a moment ago we saw a very animated Sinead McSharry talking to her players. She's seen how the first half has played out. What sort of encouragement, information can she impart to get her team into this game and really competing?
I mean, I think it's about self-belief a little bit. You have to be able to really dig deep and know that you are capable of going out there and competing. It is just a 1-0 game, despite it being very one-sided in possession and control-wise, but they just have to be able to go out there and play their own game. They have to be able to do the hard work and be gritty, fight for every ball, not allow the Ottawa Rapid to continue to capitalize on their opportunities. And as I said, try to catch them in transition.
They have been under siege, and Kira Mellenhorst, so far the only beneficiary in terms of goals, her 4th of the season. And the goal was coming almost from minute 1, but when the opportunity presented itself, slid it into the corner past Caitlin Talbot. And it is Ottawa who hold sway as we come to the end of the hydration break and we get ready to resume with Jaleesa Harris and Chu on the left-hand side. Can play other positions as well. Slight understanding. Yeah, maybe something here for Calgary. Have they overplayed it in midfield? They have, unfortunately, and Friedland will take full advantage and in full cry. How can she pick out a teammate? Forbes was to her left, couldn't find her. Thurton misplayed it. But in the end, it will be a wild ball midway inside the Ottawa half of the field.
Another thing too, Nigel, is that decision-making when they are able to get on the ball, the Wild. You see Maya Jones cut inside. She's looking for options, and you have runners coming into the midfield near her instead of pulling out wide and occupying the space that actually is open. So can they find those spaces to provide better options for the people on the ball? Because it just becomes very difficult when you go, everybody goes into the middle of the park and it's already so crowded there.
Adamek trying to spring Pridham, this time more tidies up at the back. Sonny O'Neill alongside more at the heart of that back four for the Calgary Wild. Tilly James on the left-hand side and Grace Stordy on the right-hand side. Stordy. It's a little close to Mina, but they got away with it for the time being. But Forbes has dispossessed them, and Pridham in behind, and again brave goalkeeping from Caitlin Talbot to deny Pridham.
That's well done from Talbot. She comes out, she's able to time that, denies Pridham a really good goal-scoring opportunity. And of all players, you want to be able to get and intervene with Pridham before she's able to find the back of the net.
Adamek takes over as they try their luck down the right-hand side. Mina Lee, vastly experienced Korean. Adamek continued her run. Ball is long to the back post. Harris picks up the loose ball and feeds Forbes. Mellenhorst Edge of the area, we've already seen what she can do. Harris
But you're
on
seeing
the edge of the area. Go ahead.
You're seeing here,
Jess.
Nigel, this is exactly what I was talking about. You have both Adamek as well as Chu so far into the final third. So both of them are involved. Both the fullbacks are forward. Can they find these moments to take advantage of these transitional moments? But they have to be able to execute those passes to actually find the space and find the feet, be precise.
Look at the workload they get through as well. You just referenced both the fullbacks, but when they need to be, they're back in their defensive left and right back positions. Here's Adamek again.
They most definitely are, but it's also a matter of how fast the Wild are able to go in transition. Can they look up? Can they get forward? You have those recovery runs, of course, but as the game carries on, the workload of those fullbacks is going to continue to grow, and there are going to be moments where they will get caught. So it's just a matter of being able to pick out those moments and take advantage of it.
Here's Sadie Waite looking to thread the needle. Snorty was watching and alert to the danger. Well, that particular graphic tells its own story.
Goodness.
11 attempts on goal, 8 of them on target for the Rapid. Not much happening on the other side. But one of those great old soccer cliches, it's only a one-goal game, and it only takes a second to make everything different. So Thurton, again, having to come deep to get involved.
Good little passing sequence here from the Wild.
This is Bochum. Wants to take it on. Always just rising, but Jorian Bochum had the confidence. Looking for that top corner. In the end, didn't challenge Lagenet.
It's a good little passing sequence you saw from the Wild for the build-up. Bochum with the ability to go forward. She could potentially have gone left as well. She goes to her right foot, strikes from distance. She does get a good strike on it, but leans back a little bit too much. Could she have gone left and been a little bit closer to goal? Possibly, but nonetheless, she does get a shot off, which is exactly the mentality that you want from these Wild players.
A couple of goals and a couple of assists for Bochum in 2025, but yet to find the back of the net this season. Mellenhorst surrounded by red jerseys, but had the strength and the character to hold on to the football. Gets it back from her captain. Picks out Harris. Harris needs to just be a little careful there. Pressure from Thurton. Nice one touch. Nina Lee and Mellenhorst. 3 ahead of her. Forbes is one of them. And Pridham off the post. That time Talbot was beaten, but the upright was her friend. Adamek, as the Ottawa Rapid come in waves of attack again and again. Friedland. Adamek needs to cross it first time. Some decent defending on that occasion, but at the expense of another corner. Well, they came mighty close, didn't they, to a second goal, Jess?
They certainly did, and one of the things that makes this Ottawa Rapid side so great is that their midfield really does drive that attack. You also see the IQ of Amel Forbes to play that nice little one-touch slip ball through to Pridham, who strikes it first time with her left boot off of the post.
Towards the penalty spot, plenty forward in dark blue. Sadie Waite to recycle Chu, left-footed, just too much on it. As Liv Scott gave chase, but behind for a goal kick. Neal and Moore.
Goodness gracious. A little risky there from Moore. It's happened on multiple occasions, really needs to clean it up.
They get away with it for the time being. Again, will take responsibility. As time goes left for Tilly James. Adamek pressing. Morse back again, all the way back to Moore. Doherty Howard. Neal. Now Story, there's a little room ahead of her. Picks out Thurton. Intelligent back heel, but it runs for Chu. And Ottawa under no great pressure at the back. They'll take their time building once again as we pass the half-hour mark. Wait for Harris. Friedland. Moore is ahead of her, cushions it for the goalkeeper. But given away again, Mina Lee. She's capable of doing that. Scuffed it on that occasion. But every now and then, Mina Lee will pull a spectacular goal out of the hat. Realised that Talbot was off her line and out of position. Decided to have a go from distance. Scott back for Dagenet.
Mina Lee is one of those players that is quite literally everywhere. She is somebody that does so well to float in and out of those spaces. You see her here floating over to this right side, and she just has that ability, the IQ and the recognition of where the space is. She finds it so well, gets on the ball, helps drive the attack, and then she also has shown us that she has the capability to find the back of the net. We've seen her strike a couple times today, just not quite enough power behind it. But she's definitely a dangerous player, and she helps drive the attack of this Ottawa Rapid side very frequently.
34 years of age. You can't teach experience, as they say. 1 goal, 1 assist so far for Mina Lee so far this season. She's very happy to find herself in those attacking positions and has the confidence to call her own number from time to time. O'Neill. More defending to be done for the Wild. James will bring it forward into Ottawa territory. Bochum to her left. It is Jorian Bochum, had that speculative shot a couple of minutes ago. Across the face of the 6-yard box. Harris well positioned.
There has to be a runner there as well. That's another thing to mention, right? It's not about just getting numbers in the box, and I know McSherry mentioned to us they want minimum 4 players in the box at all times, but they have to be able to be in the right spots. There has to be purpose in those runs.
It'll be Howard. Adamek blocks the attempted cross. It'll come in the second time, and I think it was Thurton with the header, but couldn't direct it on target. Just a yard or 2 wide, but just a flicker offensively from Calgary.
Yeah, and as I'm saying, being in the right spots, that's exactly where she needed to be. She was able to time her run on that ball, gets on the better end of the delivery, but unfortunately isn't able to redirect it towards frame, but does get ahead on it, does get contact. So a little bit better from the Wild in these last couple minutes.
Mellenhorst in midfield. Adamek plays the 1-2. Friedland to her right. Here's the Norwegian. As Pridham makes her way to the edge of the penalty area. Adamek again on the charge. Everything to her left. Trying to pick out Pridham, who really should have scored, and she knows it. She had a free header, and it needed a firm header, and it just brushed off the back of her head and wide.
We're seeing the Rapid not take their foot off the gas at all. Adamek's been instrumental for them in the attack. She gets this nice little chip ball to Pridham, but Pridham comes across, trying to redirect it into that far corner, ends up going wide.
Calgary are living precariously defensively, but it is still just a 1-goal game. On another day, it could already be 4 or 5, as it was the last time they came to TD Place. But maybe in these closing minutes of the first half, they're just beginning to grow in a little bit of confidence. There's a shot on target. Catching practice for Dagenet. But worth a try.
There's also the option to get that ball into the box. You saw 4 runners there for the Wild. Can it be put in a position where maybe one of them can intervene? But you do love the confidence. That's exactly, again, as I mentioned before, what you want to see when you're in those positions. Can you strike on goal? And can you read what the best option is in that moment?
Sonia O'Neill across to cover. As Friedland was ready to make another dart round down the right wing. And I wonder whether, you know, a little bit of frustration will creep in, because Ottawa have made so many chances, but just the one goal to show for it. I mean, it's not a bad position to be in, but they've got to show a little bit of patience perhaps as well.
Yeah, they definitely do. I agree with you. Patience is huge, as much as it's probably overlooked. Everybody thinks you can go, you know, 100 miles an hour 100% of the time, but there is a moment sometimes where you do have to slow things down, whether that's your final decision making or just when you are in front of the goal. Being able to find the back of the net at times does require you to sort of slow your processes to be able to be more clinical.
Maya Jones, the victim in that challenge with Chu. Free kick for the Wild. How can they build something from here? Get into that final third and be decisive. Can they get enough numbers forward in the right positions? Jones again. That will be a Calgary ball. Storey and support. Jones needs to make it, does so. Now there are players in the area. One of them was the Ottawa captain, Liv Scott, who clears. Just signs of life offensively from Calgary as we make our way towards half-time. They've been under siege for the majority of the first half. This is better possession. Storey back for more. Finds its way to Thurton. Then given away cheaply. Freeland and Mina. Familiar turn to buy herself a little bit of time and space. Back to the ambling Harris. She does it absolutely on purpose. She just gives herself time, and she is one of those players who has that ability to pick out a teammate 50, 60, 70 yards up the field. We've seen her do it so many times. Here's Mellenhorst, the goal scorer. Mellenhorst and Waite weren't on the same page. Thurton takes over, and Jones now. Early ball forward, but again, somewhat aimless.
Yeah, a bit wasteful there from Jones, and you look up and there really isn't any options for her. Is she going to continue to drive forward? You see all the blue shirts around her. You have Doherty Howard attempting to make a run. Not much she can really do. But where is that far side winger, right? Where is Bockham? Where is a midfielder making that run, breaking that line? They have to be able to get forward and have those numbers and have that support, because ultimately it's going to end like that, just wasteful with the opportunities that you're creating.
Harris again quickly clears out to Chu, cushions it forward for Forbes, pursued by Storey. Storey clears, but into touch. It'll be an Ottawa ball just inside Calgary territory.
Grace Storey always so eager and putting in 100% all the time. She's not afraid to back down from any sort of battle, and you can see it there. Mel Forbes is a very good player, very physical, has the ability to get across defenders, but Grace Storey stops her before she has the ability to do so.
Chu. Ottawa going backwards to come forwards. Here is Scott. Adamek. The ever-present Mina. Back heel for Friedland. Friedland, will she take it on? She will! Johanna Friedland! And finally, 3 minutes before half-time, the Ottawa Rapid have a second goal. Friedland the scorer. Talbot beaten again. And Ottawa have a 2-goal cushion.
We know this is a team that does not take their foot off the gas, and we're seeing it there, Nigel. You spoke about having that patience, and that's exactly what we've seen from them. You see a little bit of craftiness from Mina Lee. She spins out, finds Friedland, who comes inside and just continues to drive forward, and you see that the Wild is just too spread apart, not compact enough. She has all the time in the world, and she strikes this so well past Talbert, doesn't hesitate, and makes the most of the opportunity that's given to her.
First goal for the Ottawa Rapid from Johanna Friedland. Had one assist, but now she takes advantage, and as you said, the water sort of parted and she was allowed to run, take on the shot, and an accurate finish from the 29-year-old Norwegian. Doubles Ottawa's lead just a couple of minutes before half-time, and now they have that comfort zone, that cushion that they were looking for.
They most definitely do, and they've done really well to manipulate this Wild defense, right? It's that movement, it's that fluidity of Amina Lee pulling out wide, it's Adamek getting forward, but those wide overloads, we're seeing the Wild struggle with who picks up who, when they need to step, when they need to stay, and it's ultimately causing a lot of issues for this back line, the midfield being caught out of position at times as well. So we've seen a really organized Ottawa side doing well to manipulate a Calgary side that's struggling a little bit to find their footing in this first half.
I think you have to say it's a more accurate reflection of what we've seen in the first 43.5 minutes.
Yeah, it certainly is. You know, as you said before, Nigel, it could definitely be 4, it could be 5. There's been so many great opportunities. They've just struggled to find the back of the net at times for the Rapid, but they have most definitely taken over this entire first half in their favor, really set the tempo, and the way this game has been moving is very much in their favor.
I mean, Talbot must have made 4 or 5 really good saves, which has limited the Ottawa Rapid to just 2 goals in this opening half. Scored by Mellenhorst in the 16th minute and Friedland a moment ago. Not quite half time. There will be perhaps a couple of minutes to add after the hydration break. Confirm that for you in just a moment. Here's Scott. Adamek and Mina Lee, and the goal scorer Friedland stays on the side. We will have 2 additional minutes. Will that be long enough to Ottawa to perhaps have an opportunity to score a 3rd goal? Chu takes over. Waite made the run on the left-hand side, was ignored by the Korean. Friedland again from Adamek, touch inside, that's clever. Mina Lee, this might be the 3rd. Didn't quite work out that way.
But again, just showing you how that fluidity of Amina Lee is causing issues. She cuts out wide and she has nobody on her. She has the freedom to do that. Who's supposed to be picking her up? You see Tilly James get caught with Friedland on the initial pass. Why is no one shifting over? Why is no one even attempting to delay Mina?
Maybe that's 1 or 2 of the questions that Sinead McSharry will be asking her team at half-time.
Well, she did point out to us that how they do in both boxes is going to be massive, so she wants to be able to see them defend better inside their own box, and they certainly have struggled with that in the first 45.
Push by Story. It's one way to stop Mel Forbes, but it's not legal. It'll be a free kick for the Rapid in the closing seconds of this first half. Robert Alessio will decide where the free kick will be taken from. This may be the last action of an entertaining first half. Entertaining at least if you're an Ottawa Rapid fan. Harris standing over it. She's been known to just go for it with power from this sort of range. Will she do so again? Just 2 in the wall, but Harris might just go for goal. Plenty of teammates ahead of her if she decides to do that. Tries to chip it over the top, and in the end it's neither one thing or the other. And behind for a goal kick as our referee blows for half-time at TD Place. First half dominated by the NSL leaders, the Ottawa Rapid, and rewarded with 2 goals from Kira Mellenhorst and Johanna Friedland.
Yeah, it was a great performance from the Ottawa Rapid in that first half. They did what they needed to do. They caused problems for this Calgary Wild side, but from the Calgary Wild perspective, they do need to clean some things up. They need to get more numbers forward, more support around the ball, look to capitalize on transitional moments, and then defensively, they need to be more compact and on the same page.
Thurton did have a header, but not on target. There hasn't been much offensively for the Calgary Wild. That needs to change if they're to have any chance in the second half. Ottawa Rapid in control and leading by 2-0 at halftime.
Living in 5D, living in TD. Refuse to think what could be. Darkness speaks in the shadows. We're still with this like Ado. I'm no key for real, let's go. No need for here we are. There's no need for this, but here we are. Oh yes we are. Oh yes we are. I'm not keen for it, but here we are. Oh yes we are. Oh yes we are. There's no need for this, but here we are. Oh yes we are. Oh yes we are. Here we are. But here we are. But here we are. All we need is peace. All we need is silence. Oh yes we are. There's no need for this, but here we are. Oh yes we are. Oh yes we are. Here we are.
Good ball through, and there's the second goal. D.B. Pridham.
You had a heck of a season. Golden Boot, Player of the Year, Team of the Season.
Yeah, I feel like honestly I still haven't processed it. It was such an amazing year, and it's been like a continuous momentum that I've been rolling on. It's a team sport. I couldn't have done anything without the support that I've received. So grateful for that and for the season that I had.
D.B. Pridham, the scoring sensation.
What can't I say about DB Pridham? Honestly, my first day in training last year, me and her went into a battle, and I called my friends after and I said, oh God, me and her are gonna get into it all year in training.
I mean, I feel like all the center backs in the league are kind of just like on my back.
I don't want to go against her every day in games, so I'm happy to have her on my team. And in training, we can just make each other better every day.
Ball in the penalty area, flicked on. This is DB again, and it is a brace.
Accomplishing what I did last year is only made me more excited for the years to come, to just grow on that momentum and continue to keep pushing for more and wanting more. It is limitless, and I can keep achieving and keep pushing for higher and higher standards.
I've never quite met somebody who is so committed to putting the ball in the back of the net, and she finds the back of the net. And I think that find a way factor, not everyone has, and she does.
You know, pressure's a part of the game, especially when you're a striker. That's your job, to put the ball in the back of the net. I think pressure's a privilege. I like being that person that the team depends on to put the ball in the back of the net. That's what I was brought to Rapid to do, so I'm going to continue to do that and help my team win.
Do you feel pressure to repeat this season what you accomplished last season?
I obviously have my individual goals, and it's okay to have that pressure. Everyone is asking about it, but it's not stressing me out or freaking me out. I think it's more of just a fun thing. So I'm excited for it, and I'm ready for it.
Huh. We've already got tons of WestJet points.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Should we?
I'm booking it.
Your next travel story is waiting. Make it happen with the all-new WestJet Rewards.
A very warm welcome back to TD Place. It is Northern Super League Week 11. The leaders, the Ottawa Rapid, up against the Calgary Wild. We are at half-time. It has been one-way traffic. This match being presented by BMO, the official bank of the NSL. It is a warm day in the nation's capital. And let's just show you some of the highlights from that first half. And Jess, well, it's been pretty much one-way traffic as far as the Rapid are concerned.
Yeah, it certainly has. And on this right flank, Adamek has been doing so well to drive forward and create those overloads with Friedland as well as Mina, who's really been flowing out wide. We've seen great deliveries into the box. You have runners. Everybody is putting their body on the line. They're trying to be able to find the back of the net on multiple occasions. Again, Adamek here. She cuts this back to Friedland, who looks up, is able to recognize that she doesn't maybe have the shot. She plays it to Pridham, who lays it off. And I mean, Kira Mellenhorst, we know she's going to find the back of the net if you give her the time and space to do so, and she did exactly that in that moment, Nigel.
Fourth goal of the season for Mellenhorst, and the Calgary goal pretty much under siege from the word go. Finally, they get their reward. In the 16th minute, there was plenty more opportunities for the home team. Pridham making a nuisance of herself, as she always does.
She certainly does. She's not a player that you would love to play against as a defender, and you have the midfield as well driving that attack. You see a nice little one-touch pass there from Forbes to Pridham. And then this is an example of what they've been doing. They find the spaces, they manipulate the defense, and then they strike and they execute. This was a great goal. You saw the movement from Mina to pull out wide. You then see the little cute back heel. We love to see that cheekiness. And then Friedland with the bravery to drive forward and go straight through that Calgary Wild back line and put it into the back of the net.
First NSL goal for Johanna Friedland to double Ottawa's advantage at half-time. My goodness me, look at the disparity there. The second line attempts on goal, 17-3 and 9 shots to 1 on target of Ottawa. That's the stats just say everything, I think, as far as that's concerned.
Certainly do. Even the 9 corners, that's a lot of opportunities. Something that the Wild was trying to work on cutting down. So they haven't been able to do that quite yet.
So can Ottawa build on that lead, or do Calgary have something to offer offensively in the second half? Stay tuned, we'll find out.
I think being from Calgary means everything. I love that city. It means the whole world to me, so being able to play pro at home is just the greatest gift ever. I think my favorite part about playing home games in Calgary is when I'm flying up the wing and I hear little girls or parents or just friends and family like chanting my name. I think it's really just rewarding knowing that you're appreciated. I want to put on a good show for my friends and family and for all the people that come out to support us, but less pressure because Calgary is just such a forgiving place. So I know no matter what happens, like the city always has our back.
Cross gets in. And it's in the back of the net.
What do you remember about the goal? What do you remember about the moment?
Yeah, it was my first professional goal as a total, so super sweet. It wasn't a pretty goal, that's for sure. It went kind of straight off the bridge of my nose, but a goal's a goal. I'll count it as a header, and it was just surreal. My best friend was there, my family was there, so it was a moment I'll never forget.
On the pitch, you see the intensity she brings, and she brings that every day on training. She's always loud. You can hear her from across the field, but off the field, I do think she does a really good job of making everyone feel included, and she has that high social battery where she can make sure like the team is all meshing together and bringing that energy off the field as well.
I took a lot of pride in, I think everyone's kind of said, starting this and being a part of the start of it, and I think it's special for me that I am Calgarian. You know, I want to leave an impact on this league, whether I'm here for forever or just a short period of time, and I love it, so I can't complain. But yeah, moving forward, it's just, this is the place where I want to be and I love to be, so can't thank this league enough. Growing up, we didn't have that, especially in Canada, and it's really cool to see even now just the feedback from parents, moms, dads, their children, just saying how lucky they feel that their kid has someone to look up to. I hope they leave knowing that they have a role model.
Ottawa Rapid in control against the Calgary Wild at half-time. We'll get back to the action momentarily at TD Place. Now, let's have a chat with a Canadian hero and a champion an ocean away, Canada's own Jade Rose.
Welcome back to the NSL on TSN. Well, we are so pleased to be joined by our next guest. She's an absolute champ. I mean that in every sense of the word. A standout with Man City, a standout with our Canadian women's national team. I'm talking about Jade Rose, who's joining us in studio today. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Listen, I just spoke about some of your accolades. Your first season as a pro, remarkable. What was the experience like?
The experience has exceeded every single expectation that I had going into it. I mean, moving across the world to a completely new country and a completely new team, having to fight for a starting spot, and then going on to make history with the club, it was a dream come true.
And listen, with the women's national team, you've seen the jump in your level, like what the pro game has brought back to the national team. You guys are coming off a huge win versus Costa Rica. How would you assess where the team is at looking towards November for Olympic and World Cup qualification?
Yeah, I think that the team's in a great position. I think that, a lot of people were worried about the fact that we only had one matchless window, that we weren't playing a top 10 team. And I think for us, a lot of it came down to, getting great training minutes in, having a lot of time with the squad, building those partnerships, building those connections on the pitch, so that when we get around to qualifiers, that all the pieces are falling into place.
Now you're back home in Toronto, in Canada, just in time for the Men's World Cup. Yeah. Typically in season you live in England, where soccer culture is so widespread, it's so immersive. What do you think, what do you hope this tournament will do for soccer culture in this country?
I think that it's going to skyrocket in this country. I think when I think about, what the 2012 Olympics did for me, when I think about what the 2015 World Cup did for me, that is what this World Cup is going to do for the next generation and for so many players today. It's going to ignite that love of the game, that love of football culture, and I can't wait to see the fans and to see how our team does.
And listen, we know you were busy in Manchester winning the double, but when you had some downtime, were you watching the NSL? Who are you watching, and what are you most impressed with?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to catch whatever game I can. I know so many players across the league, and it is a little tricky with the time difference, so I'm just catching whatever game's on, but I love to look out for a lot of the players that I grew up playing with. Nikki Small, the captain at AFC, Sarita at Calgary, and so many other players across the league that, I'm still friends with to this day.
Amazing.
Well, you're watching them. They're undoubtedly watching you, likely so proud of your success, as are we. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Jade.
Welcome on board our new Triangle Rewards and WestJet Rewards partnership.
Prior to earning, ensure your accounts are securely linked. In the event you shop or fly with us, earn Canadian Tire money and WestJet points on all eligible purchases. Breathe normally and secure your own rewards before assisting others. Take a moment to locate where you can spend once and earn twice. Link today and watch your rewards take off.
This is quite a game. It'll be a free kick. Oh, what a goal! And emotion overflows.
Watching dough rise always fills me with inspiration.
Don't ever look at my savings account. The dough doesn't rise.
BMO has 2 simple ingredients to make your savings rise. Great interest rates and no monthly fees.
Yeah, that would do it all right.
Plus, get a cash bonus for opening a checking and savings account.
So BMO helps your savings grow bigger faster.
Like a triple dose of yeast.
You're hired.
What? No, I wasn't looking for it.
Yes, chef. Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
BMO.
It is a hot day in Ottawa, and the Rapid are running hot against the Calgary Wild. Week 11 of the Northern Super League. Just one of 2 games going on today, because down at the Wanderers grounds, down east, just kicked off Halifax Tides against AFC Toronto, YouTube and CBC Gem. We are waiting for the second half to start at TD Place by the banks of the Rideau Canal in the nation's capital. The players just getting back on the field, and we await the start of the second half. The first half dominated, Jessica, by the Ottawa Rapid. Any reason to suspect that'll change in the next 45 minutes?
I think the first 5 minutes of the second half are going to be huge. Who comes out on the front foot? I don't see the Rapid really taking their foot off that gas pedal, Nigel, but I do think that there is an opportunity to play disruptor here for the Wild. They are a team, as I said, that has the ability in transitional moments when they put their brains all together and they attack as a unit. They definitely have capabilities. Can they find the back of the net? Can they be clinical? But I think also defensively they need to be more compact to shut down a very good Ottawa Rapid team that is hungry and wants more goals heading into the second half.
Calgary Wild all in red, hoping to redress the balance in the next 45 minutes against the dark blue jerseys of the league leaders. Ottawa Rapid win today. They take them 4 points clear of the Montreal Roses, who also had a field day yesterday against the Vancouver Rise. Big day for Evelyn Badu, scored the league's third hat-trick in history. But that is history now, and now we are focused on TD Place. Mel Dagenet had very little to do in the first half for the Ottawa Rapid, and she will hope that that continues for the rest of the day. Wild will look to find a way to improve in the second half as they attack the goal to your right in this second half after conceding goals in the first half to Kira Mellenhorst and Johanna Friedland. Away we go then. Teresa Harris chips the ball forward, looking for the dangerous DB Pridham. Already 6 goals. Hasn't scored today. It may just be a matter of time. Did assist on Mellenhorst's goal in the first half, by the way.
We also saw her hit the post, so...
well, there is that too.
She's definitely looking for her first of the day, Nigel.
Adamek thought it was her throw. The assistant on the far side disagreed, so Tilly James across to get us started again for the Calgary Wild. Reminding you that they are still looking for their first win of the season. 8 games gone, 2 points earned. I think you can do the rest of the math. Thurton leaves it infield. Bockham. Back for James. Never really got a foothold in midfield. They ventured towards the Ottawa penalty area a couple of times, a couple of speculative shots in the first half, but nothing consistent from Calgary. Maybe there's going to be something here. Maya Jones plays it straight to Adamek, who inevitably has Friedland in support. And then played up the line or ahead of Pridham. And all the way back to the very busy Caitlin Talbot, who, to her credit, pulled off some wonderful saves in that first half, but couldn't do much about the 2 goals. They were just too good. This is Forbes, Scott, and Mellenhorst. And Dagenet well outside her penalty area, just wanted to get a touch, get involved. It's important for a goalkeeper, you know, on those days when you don't have much to do, just to keep yourself switched on.
Without a doubt, and stay involved with that back line, as you're saying. Just get them a couple touches when you're circulating that ball amongst the back line. It definitely doesn't hurt to keep them engaged.
Moore just gets her feet sorted out, digs it out just in time. Sadie Waite won it cleanly. Referee was close by. Mellenhorst trying to play the 1-2. Mellenhorst again. This could be the third. Well, Pridham will be disappointed. In behind, but lifted it over the crossbar. She's usually better than that.
This all starts off of a poor clearance from Moore, and then it ends up landing to Akira Mellenhorst, who we know is going to drive forward, gets the ball to Pridham, slips it through there, and Pridham just getting underneath the ball, not striking it quite as she wanted to. You see her shaking her head in a bit of frustration.
Stordy for Calgary, boxed in by Forbes. Stordy again, hurls it down the line. Chu, miss kick. Janaea Robertson it's going to be an Ottawa ball. And more pressure coming towards that Calgary penalty area. Harris to thread the needle, not this time.
It's well anticipated there from Williams.
Horse gives chase. It'll break for Chu. Chu again for Harris. That's a good ball taken in stride. Trying to play Forbes inside the fullback. But it runs harmlessly through to Caitlin Talbot. Yet to record a clean sheet so far this season. And needless to say, it won't happen today. Again, Talbot called into action. That came at a ferocious speed from Friedland. And just managed, got her body in the way to divert it behind for another corner.
Friedland looking for her second of the day, but just some messy and sloppy play out of the back again. More giving up that ball.
Friedland, for one, is most definitely in the mood. Sadie Waite cushions it into the penalty area. Charged down by Chu, I think the shot came in from. Comes back for Waite. And it might be Robertson, yeah. Just cannon into her face or her midriff, perhaps. Maybe just knocked the wind out of her.
One of the worst feelings.
Yeah.
It's such a simple thing, and it's something that you can definitely get up from, but it takes a moment to really get back into it. And you can see there, just based on her reaction, hands on head, trying to slowly catch her breath.
Yeah, as you say, it's not a nice feeling, but it's all part and parcel of the game. Help to her feet. Good to see Robertson back at it again. Some help from Story, just to check with the referee. Okay, let's go, says Janea. Scott taking no chances, safety first. Scott will receive it back from her goalkeeper. It's time for Harris. And then a little bit of a misunderstanding. Maybe a chance here for Doherty Howard. Thurton picks it up on the right-hand side. Will go at Chu. Thurton stopped initially. Story. Keeper stays. And in the end, well, it's just a present for the goalkeeper. I thought it was going to run out of play. No real conviction in the cross when it finally came over from Bochum. Chu. Oh, well, Chu trying to wrap her boot around that, and that didn't quite happen. Rare misplay from the Ottawa Rapid. There's movement on the bench, by the way. The Rapid bench, I should say. We are anticipating a couple of substitutions, maybe at the next break in play. Confirm that when it happens. Moore leaves it forward. James can't catch it. And the cheap giveaway in their own half of the field. Adamek, all action, busy, ready to get on with it.
Been a bit of a constant story for the Wild in this matchup. In the second half, we've seen it already a couple times. Nigel not being able to clean up those little passes, those simple passes, and giving the ball up way too easily to the Rapid.
Robertson looking for an option, forced to go backwards for Story. Again, turned over cheaply by Calgary. They can't afford to keep doing that. Wait under no pressure, nor is Scott, as Adamek wide right, and Harris close in attendance square. Harris decides in the end to go to Adamek. Trying to help it on for Friedland, but Moore is across to cover. Stays in play. Mallenhorst again. Adamek to her right, Friedland inside. Fouled by the challenge. Region gets to her feet. And another free kick upcoming for the home team. Second half so far is following a familiar pattern. Mina Lee. Forbes, intelligent ball looking for Pridham. Dangerous all the way across the 6-yard area. Ultimately behind for a goal kick.
It's a great delivery in, and we've seen Mel Forbes put deliveries into the box like that, those early crosses, recognizing what sort of ball is needed. Pridham just not quite able to get on the end of it.
Kira Mallenhorst has scored a goal, left her mark on this game. She's going to be given a rest. Florence Belzile takes over, wearing number 10. She can be quite an impact player herself. So Belzile is on. Friedland is also withdrawn, and Korean Jung is on to replace her. So both the goal scorers substituted out, and Ottawa have the luxury of doing that for the time being. There is Jung, who was substituted, picked up an injury early in the game against Montreal last week, so wasn't risked from the start, but is essentially a like-for-like replacement for Mallenhorst.
Yeah, she certainly is, and she plays maybe more of that structural role. She is very good at keeping structure in the midfield and playing simple and being an outlet to help build in more of that 6 role. It also gives the freedom to some other players like a Sadie Waite to be able to get forward and drive, and of course you have Mina as well, all players that love to drive forward and get involved in the attack.
Forbes will take the corner for the Rapid all the way along the ground. Stroked out of play, it'll be a throw in this time. Belzile, I'm sure, will leave it for Chu in all likelihood. Here's the Korean. Into the penalty area, more danger. Forbes couldn't quite connect with Belzile, just over her head.
Also saw some nice hold-up play there off the chest of Pridham, lays it off to Forbes, who attempts to get that ball in and across, but Belzile not quite able to get her head on it to connect.
Deep inside their own area, attempting to play their way out. Ball did last come off an Ottawa player. I think it was perhaps Forbes. Storey with the throw, trying to find Thurton. Jung, heavy first touch, not quite up to the pace of the game yet. Robertson turning for Jones. Jones again. Pursued by Forbes. Doherty Howard into the middle for Andy Williams. Again. This is better from Calgary if they can get the shot away. Line of dark blue jerseys on the edge of the area, and then the shot finally is high and wide. And Dagenet not tested again.
Sarita Thurton had the ability there to be a little more selfish and turn herself to potentially get a shot off. We spoke about her pregame and what she's been bringing to this Calgary Wild attack, her ability to get on the ball and create dangerous opportunities. So can she be more selfish in that moment? But in the end, she does find Robertson, who doesn't quite get the shot off the way she would have liked.
Ottawa ball, says the referee. Forbes just a little slow to recover. Not so Mina Lee, still full of running, rarely completes 90 minutes, but she's got great engine, great experience, great awareness of what's around her. Michaela Moore clears out for Calgary, finds Thurton back to goal. Was that a foul? It was, from Harris, who is shown a yellow card for a bit of a bear hug. And I don't think she can have too many complaints about that.
No, I don't believe so. You see, it looks to be a bit of a shirt pull as well when she pulls Thurton in and around to avoid her, as she does. Thurton does essentially beat her here. Yeah, most definitely as clear cut as they come.
Sometimes you have to do what you have to do, and
it's true. It's a tactical foul.
Harris was the wrong side. Professional foul, they call it. Used to call it. I'm not sure what they call it these days. Calgary a chance to attack into the Ottawa penalty area. Adamek is first to react. Thurton trying to get there. Well, Adamek lets it bounce, but under no pressure, and then misplays it. She'll be disappointed. She had time to clear, just lost control of her surroundings and behind for a rare corner for Calgary, and potentially a way back into this game. Just coming up to the hour mark. Is this the moment for the Calgary Wild? Referee just having a couple of words with a couple of protagonists before Doherty Howard delivers. This might just be their best route to goal if they can disrupt inside the 6-yard box. They're certainly going to try. They nearly did. Chung volleys it away. And that, I believe, is Michaela Moore in some distress as that ball came over from the corner. And the Calgary central defender is going to need some medical attention, it would appear. Here come the physios. Have another look here, see if we can pick out what happened. Yeah, Adamek at the back post, well off the ball. Adamek and Moore came together. And
obviously out of the viewpoint of the referee, but there's absolutely no reason for Adamek to be doing that without the ball being anywhere in the vicinity of her.
Well, I guess there was contact from both parties, which made it impossible for the referee to decide, even if he'd seen what went on, who was at fault initially and whether or not there were any claims for a penalty. But there was certainly a coming together between Moore and Adamek on the far post. So Ottawa have made those two changes, and they've taken off both goal scorers. I think we've got a chance just to see those goals once again.
Yeah, and you see that brightness that they have in the attack. Mellenhorst, nice little layoff from Pridham, and she's able to strike from the top of the 18, and then again, top of the 18, Friedland does well to drive forward and strike that into the bottom left corner, no hesitation.
Katrina Peterson is a little puzzled as we wait for the restart. I can only assume this is the hydration break. I haven't had anything confirmed in my headphones. I'm told it isn't a hydration break because Michaela Moore is still receiving attention.
The strange part about it is that Michaela Moore is not on the pitch. So I'm not sure why there is a continued stoppage of play. I think that might be what Peterson is speaking about. She's not on the pitch.
Have another look at what happened. I guess there is a suggestion that it is a significant injury. Look at that, not there, right there. Yeah, it's a push, blatant push from Adamek. Now what preceded that, who knows? Pushes Moore over. Now I wonder whether she may have just made contact with the upright as she fell over backwards. Well, that's more encouraging. At least she's sitting up now, but I mean, she's looking groggy. She's talking with the medical staff about whether or not she's going to be able to continue.
You did see her motion to grabbing her head initially. So yeah, as you said, Nigel, maybe just catching the post as she fell.
Shari and staff considering their options. Are they going to be forced to make another change here? They were about to bring on Tegan Stewart as another option up front, but right now the immediate attention has to be on Michaela Moore and her fitness and whether or not she can continue it. Body language doesn't look optimistic, I have to say. So, decisions on the visiting bench. Well, at least, well, is the referee going to give a penalty? It would appear so.
I guess that's what
After
Peterson
all
was
that,
speaking about.
After all that, it is a penalty for the shove from Adamek on Michaela Moore. And there is a real opportunity here for the Calgary Wild to draw within one, and they have done. Good penalty, clinically dispatched. Dagenais dove to her right, but couldn't keep it out. And maybe just a lifeline for the Calgary Wild. 2-1.
Maggie Doherty-Howard picking up her second goal of the season. But just always such a clinical player, and she steps up in those big moments for her team, able to place this perfectly into that bottom corner. Just clinical, well struck from her.
Well, I did mention a moment ago they were considering bringing on Tegan Stewart. They have now done that. An offensive option for the Calgary Wild, who replaces Andy Williams. So we're back to a one-goal game. Despite the dominance of the Ottawa Rapid, they haven't yet put this game to bed. Will they rue all those opportunities they created in the first half? And there's a spring in the step as Stewart makes her way forward. Harris does well to beat her to the ball and to keep her cool. As we said right off the top, you just never know in this game. Stordy should win that, but doesn't. And Forbes is hauled to the ground. That's going to be a yellow card for Stordy, and she knows it. She knew it was coming. Forbes got goal side, and Stordy had to bring her down.
We've spoken about the competitiveness of Grace Stordy. You see a little bit of hands there from Forbes, and then Forbes ends up getting on the better side of Stordy. Stordy just pulling her back. There's no line in that one. Most definitely a booking.
Second yellow of the game. Joins Julissa Harris in the referee's notebook. Forbes, having been hauled down, takes the free kick. Harris pushes it to the area, but too far ahead of Pridham and everybody else. And behind for another goal kick for the Calgary Wild. Approaching the three-quarter mark. So just to confirm, that wasn't the hydration break. And as you can see, happily, Michaela Moore is back on the field. Health and wellness of the players has always to be paramount. Another save from Talbot. Almost straight at it, in fairness. There you see Moore, as I mentioned a moment ago. Declared fits to continue. As are the Calgary Wild. Maybe their tails are up just a little. Thurton couldn't get there ahead of Harris. But there's no doubt that the penalty will encourage them and force them forward. It has to do it.
And you absolutely have to use that as momentum, as you're saying, Nigel, because those are the moments that you have to use, the positive moments. And despite there being not very many for the Wild so far in this matchup, can they use that to help drive them forward from this point on?
Pridham done well. Can she finish it? Oh, Michaela Moore, right place, right time. Came inside the first defender, and Moore did really well to just get something on it. Otherwise, Pridham would have had the goal at her mercy. Forbes overran it, allowed more to clear.
And you'll see here that Pridham and her work ethic, nice little touch inside, beats Sonia, but then such a well-timed interception there from Moore. Whether it was on purpose or not, she was able to get that and break it up before Pridham was able to get a shot off.
It was either well-timed or it was a little fortunate.
It was a little bit fortunate.
Or
but,
a bit of both.
Yes.
Okay, we are now officially at the hydration break, as you can see, presented by Powerade. So chance for Michaela Moore and her teammates to take on some water. We'll have another look at that prolonged drama which led to the penalty. Well, we won't actually see the build-up to it, but we will see the finish of it. And Maggie Doherty-Howard, Calgary captain, dispatching it with aplomb and calmness into the corner for her second goal of the season. To bring the Wild within one, and there is plenty of time, there's at least 20 minutes to play. If Calgary can just build a little, believe a little more, maybe take a few more risks, but that's dangerous in itself.
Yeah, it certainly is. There has to be a bit of attacking balance as well. Can you go forward? Can you get all those numbers up there and find that creativity? But then can you also have that compactness to recognize that, hey, this might go back down our throat, so we have to be in a position where we can stay tight, stay compact, and shut down the Rapid if it goes out the other way. But they do have to have that increased bravery going forward as well.
Hydration break is over. Now, wear your colours loud and proud. I said loud and proud. Shop the NSL Pride Collection. Shop.nsl.ca. Jess and I are both getting one, so you should too.
Also, I know no one can see you, Nigel, but you were doing that same dance as the dancers there. You were killing it. He was crushing it in the booth, everyone. He's not just a talker, he's got rhythm too.
Not just a pretty face. Always wanted to learn, never mind what I wanted. I wanted to learn the drums.
Oh.
It's another story. It's another story which you don't need to hear. Corner for Ottawa, deep towards the far post. Scott got ahead on it, but couldn't direct it on goal. And no more problems, at least for the time being, for Caitlin Talbot and those at the back for the Calgary Wild. Good idea, but not enough real estate. Adamek, Polish international, experienced, ever willing. Forbes has switched over to that right-hand side. Ball finally goes out of play, and it will be a throw to the visitors. James with it. James, Thurton back to goal. She's played that for most of the game, given away in midfield. And here comes Belzile on the charge. Trying to get the ball across. Didn't quite get the curl that she needed on it.
From the Wild perspective, you don't mind that. You're putting just the right amount of pressure. It forces Belzile to kick that out of bounds.
Seen that chant at the World Cup in recent days. Pridham. Mina. Adamek from Scott. Now Jung takes over.
Seeing that fluidity in the movement of the Rapid.
Jung again, top of the box. Couldn't quite fall for Belzile. With Chu. The turn, the instinctive shot from Pridham. Kayla Moore has been in the wars, hasn't she? But sticking to her task, as she must do. Burton trying to get away from Harris and from Jung, who tripped up. Jung doesn't hang around. Referee might pursue the Korean.
We've seen that twice now where Thurton's able to come off the front and turn. Harris just does so well to use her body to get goal side of her and turn to spin forward.
Inside the last 20 minutes, heavy touch. And Forbes taking on the fullback. This time it stays in play, but way too close to Talbot to cause any major issues. Referee will allow it to go. Approaching the final 15 minutes. Kayla Moore needs an outlet. Stordy is there for her. Pursued by Belzile. Now Jung will take it away. No, Stordy continues going. Maybe here, Doherty Howard didn't get the power on the shot. No trouble for Dagenet. But decent build-up play, it has to be said, by Calgary. The end result was a little disappointing.
Yeah, decent build-up play, but there's also a moment there where you have to recognize from Baucom's perspective that she needs to pull wider earlier. She doesn't really provide that width, and that makes it very difficult for a player like Doherty Howard, who looks up and essentially only has options right in front of her. She opts to take the shot and try it, but that width is super important to stretch this Ottawa back line.
Baucom's trying to make up for the error here. Tried to play it alongside, but only found Sadie Waite, who clears out without ceremony. James with the throw. But more action inside the Ottawa half of the field. Stewart, substitute. Neal for more. Towards the top of the box, as far as Liv Scott. Stewart couldn't control it. Waite did. Adamek. Dagenet doesn't want to go long, but that's dangerous. Referee saw a push in the back on Jung.
Taking Stewart, a youngster that really leaves it all out there every time she's on the pitch.
Young player just learning her trade. Belzile trying to get in between two of them. Stordy sees it out, but did have the last touch. Good pressure from Belzile, wins the corner.
Another dangerous opportunity coming up here for the Rapid. As I said earlier, one of the things the Wild was working on heading into this match was really shutting down the amount of corners they had. Could they eliminate it? But unfortunately, they've given up quite a bit this matchup, Nigel.
A little while ago, we're inside the last quarter of an hour, and if you've been watching us with us since the start of the game, I guess the only surprise is the scoreline as it stands. It's still a one-goal game. There's still a lifeline. Forbes with the corner. Mina might take it on. She likes this sort of stuff. Tried to play it a little too cutely. It bounced off the back of Jung. Chu, last player back. Harris might have a go. Thought about it momentarily. Jung and Pridham couldn't quite turn. Waite has got time to compose herself. Back for Chu.
See that quick passing sequence from the Rapid. 1-2 touch, able to play within and around that 18-yard box.
Free kick for Ottawa, but there is activity on the bench. Belzile makes her way forward. Will they make the changes now? Harris wants to get on with it. The referee says, no, let's make those changes. Bojong Tabot is a teenage youngster who's going to make her NSL debut. And Kaylee Brooks, he's a defender, takes over from Janaea Robertson, so Thurton and Robertson off. Habit and books are introduced. Will the fresh legs make a difference for the Calgary Wild?
Put too much in that back press from Bockham. Just catches the legs of Melanie Forbes.
Forbes will take the free kick herself, it would appear. With a little over 10 minutes to play. Ottawa should be over the hills and far away, but they are not. This game is not dead yet. They know it, Calgary know it, and you just wonder whether there will be a strange twist in the tale. Forbes hope that this delivery is a telling one. Adamek is there as well. Now makes her way down the right-hand side. Something off the training field, hit it was the cry. But Belzile, bit of a swing and a miss.
See how well that movement worked as you have Adamek making that run down. It splits the wall up, and then they're able to play a nice little slip ball through to Belzile. Just not quite able to connect with it. You'll see here, Adamek takes off. Forbes pretends she's going to play it there. It ends up splitting the wall and finds Belzile, who's in a great position, but just can't quite connect with the ball to get it into the back of the net.
Nicola Golan is on for the Ottawa Rapid these closing minutes. Mel Forbes makes way, as does Amina Lee. Golan and Sonia Kobe Oki have an opportunity to impress in the closing minutes for the Ottawa Rapid. Stewart in the other direction. Took a deflection and out of play for a corner. A little bit of uncertainty at the back for Ottawa, which we have rarely seen today. They've been so dominant going forward. Dagenet has had so little to do, had no chance with the penalty. Can the Wild make something happen from the set piece? Jones with it, into the mixer it goes. Heads her up, pushing the back of Ngozi from Stewart, I believe, and takes all the tension out of the moment. Chu fields up the line for Florence Belzile. Pushing forward by Chu, but this time there's no one there other than Michaela Moore, who I think was waiting for Talbot to come and clear. In the end, she had to play it back to her. Oh, and Pridham might be in behind here. No flag. Forced a little bit wide. Adamek needs to make that. Referee decided there was a push from Bockham. Free kick for Ottawa. I didn't do anything wrong, says Julian Bockham.
That would be quite a physical face-off on that flank between Bockham and Adamek, both players that are always going into hard tackles. They're not afraid to use their body.
Harris spreads it for that far side. It was meant for substitute Nicola Golan, who's taken over from Forbes on that high flank. Trying to get involved, trying to get a touch. And two substitutes combined. That was Kobe Oki. Adamek will take the throw. Kobe trying to turn the corner. Turn provider. Ball is still in play. Pinging around the penalty area. Calgary have a chance to clear. Golan in pursuit.
Not quite on the same page there.
Finds its way to Adamek. Knocked on by Sadie Waite, but not accurately enough to find Golan. Storey has some room to roam now. 3 ahead of her. If they can play it right, here's Stewart. Forced backwards initially by Chu. And then a little short, and the little Korean takes over. Anticipated what was coming.
Not sure if you noticed there, Nigel, but you had 3 players making the exact same run in that front line. No option for Storey.
Pridham into the area. 1-on-1. Still Pridham. This is surely the moment. Another fine save. And cleared out. Maybe it's just not going to be DB Pridham's day, because she's been denied yet again by Caitlin Talbot.
It's well done from Talbot to stand tall there and not allow that ball into the back of the net. Pridham with some a great effort, really, to make that run down the line, cut it back, and get a strike off.
Cleared initially, but Harris will pick it up as Ottawa start again. Chu continues her run. Seen behind for a goal kick.
It's well done from Sonia as well, just to get herself in position in front of the Ottawa Rapid player, and then the ball.
Just seeing it behind for the goal kick. I'm sure Michaela Moore or Talbot were expecting that to come back quite as quickly as it did. Jung with the volley. Now then, shot comes in from the youngster Tabo. Rajni saw it coming. Plenty of time to set herself and make the save.
And I spoke about decision-making in the final third and what options are on, and being forceful and at times wasteful. That was sort of what we've been seeing for the entirety of this match from Calgary. There's been a couple good chances created, but they need to be better in those moments.
It's not going to be DB Pridham's day. Save her legs for another day. Jazz Wilkinson comes on to replace her in the last 4 minutes, but Pridham heavily involved, as she always is, Jess.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a player that you do not want running at your back line. She makes things happen. You see her here cut back and then quickly strike. She has such a quick ability to get that ball off and create something dangerous.
Don't forget, she hit the post as well, beat the goalkeeper, but not the upright in the first half. And I think she'll be a little disappointed. She must have been licking her chops coming into this game, thinking, how many can I score today? In the end, she doesn't hit the target.
No, she certainly did not, but I do think that she made herself quite useful today, obviously getting the assist on Mellenhorst's goal and just making herself useful, creating that chaos for this Calgary back line, and we knew that Calgary had a plan to shut her down from the start.
I'm sure Calgary will be absolutely delighted to see the back of her, if only for 3 or 4 minutes. But can they make their own way forward? Can they make their own luck? Are they prepared to take risks? Are they ready to gamble in these final 3 or 4 minutes and try and force an unlikely equalizer? Jones looking for the right ball, looking for the right recipient. Jung is not the one. Nicola Golan up against Kaylee Brooks. Nearly played in Wilkinson. Wilkinson needs to stay onside. Golan again. Just won't break for them. And Jung takes a tumble. 2 on the ground, but it will be an Ottawa free kick once Sonia and Jung get to their feet. No hard feelings. We're hearing, by the way, there may be a minimum of 5 additional minutes, so there is time at both ends of the field. Harris shaping to take this free kick. Just about her range. This is getting on for 30 yards out.
definitely seen her hit very precise balls from this distance. So will she go for goal?
She'll go for power for sure. It takes a deflection, and then Talbot, for the umpteenth time, gets just enough on it to parry it behind for a corner.
Talbert's been having a great day. We've seen her stand up strong quite a few times, making some big saves to keep her team in this matchup. But Harris strikes this so well. A bit of a deflection and then a bounce, but Talbot does well to deal with it.
Honestly, I've lost count of the number of saves Talbot has made to keep this. She pouches that one comfortably to keep Calgary in this game. She has stood on her head, as they say. Stordy, tamely to Dagenet. Who's just going to take a few seconds off the clock, as she's perfectly entitled to do. Now, once she's in control of the football and has it in her hands, then she has 8 seconds to release it back into play, which she does inaccurately, as it turns out. Calgary midway inside the Ottawa half of the field. Minutes are up. We will have a minimum of 5 minutes more. Sonia just too far ahead. Sonia from Belzile, or Jazz Wilkinson, I beg your pardon.
It's a nice little slip ball through from Belzile as well. The recognition and also the run from Wilkinson.
But remarkably, after all the action in and around the Calgary penalty area, this game is still not decided. Golan. Another change coming for the visitors. Dagenet up towards halfway. Geordie Howard underneath it. Jung. Wilkinson. Belzile. And Wilkinson, is she onside? There's no flag. Wilkinson, surely this time, should have shot, might get a second chance, does get a second chance. And surely the game is over now. Jazz Wilkinson just kept running. First touch wasn't decisive. Second bounce, bounced kindly. And the Rapid have a 2-goal cushion and probably 3 points.
A bit of deja vu in that build-up. We saw it earlier, just moments before, where Belzile played a similar slip ball through. Jazz Wilkinson driving forward, the touch getting away from her. Talbot, you see the frustration afterwards. She's able to intervene, but then the rebound bounces up, and Wilkinson's still there. She sticks with it, and she's ultimately able to find the back of the goal.
Jig is up for Sinead McSharry. And those in red. 3 minutes of stoppage time left to pay. First goal of the season for Jazz Wilkinson. She got one in 2025. She'll hope to add to that tally, not necessarily today, but has justified her selection. Coming on as an impact player, as the Ottawa Rapid like to say. And scoring a goal which will probably kill off the challenge of the Calgary Wild. And behind for a goal kick.
Saw Talbot with her arm outstretched. She wanted that ball from Stordy. She made the right run, but the touch ultimately getting too far ahead of her.
Kat Harvey is on for the closing seconds. Attack-minded player on for Sonia O'Neill. But will there be an opportunity for another chance for the Wild? They've been under siege for so much of this game. Made a game of it for 15-20 minutes or so after Geordie Howard's successful penalty. Then fell to the sucker punch. Jazz Wilkinson. Just about 90 seconds remaining. Stewart continues her run. Finally runs into Chung. Anywhere will do for the Rapid. That's Chu. He's got a bit of an issue. It is the Korean fullback. Maybe a little bit of cramp in her calf. Ottawa have used all their changes, all their substitutions, so Chu may have to stay on and labour for another minute or so before the referee blows his final whistle. Nowhere to go for Story, but wins the throw as it turns out. Jones. Can Calgary fashion one more opportunity? Here's the goal scorer, Doherty Howard might go it alone, trying to feed it through to the edge of the area. Jones, last chance for Calgary to make the scoreline respectable. Foul on the edge of the area. Dockham picks herself up.
Potentially their last opportunity of the match here. Can they get this on goal? Can they create something dangerous from it? Can they potentially get their second goal of the match, Nigel?
Doherty Howard considering her options. Usually the conductor when it comes to these set pieces in and around and from corners and free kicks. Jones is also there. She might just have a blast with her right foot. See what happens. It is going to be Jones, and it's high and it's wide. And Robert D'Alessio blows his final whistle. The ovation is for the Ottawa Rapid, who beats Calgary Wild comprehensively. Chaz Wilkinson adding her name to the scoring sheet for the first time this season, after goals from Kira Mellenhorst and Johanna Friedland in the first half. Penalty by Doherty Howard, but it is another defeat. 9 games without a win now for the Calgary Wild.
Ottawa mentioned heading into this game, we heard Mellenhorst say it, they wanted to increase that lead in the table. They wanted to create the gap, and that's certainly what they did here today, and this is how they're going to continue to do that. This is how they're going to stay at the top of the table. They came out on the front foot. They were able to execute when it mattered, and they ultimately were the better team from start to finish, and that's exactly how you're going to win games. So it was a well-deserved win for them. Not the greatest showing for the Calgary Wild. There was a couple moments, as you mentioned, Nigel, maybe 15-20 minutes afterwards, after Doherty Howard was able to get that PK and convert it, but unfortunately it just was not their best performance, and they struggled on both sides of the ball today.
Handshakes all round between the Ottawa Rapid and the Calgary Wild. 3-1 the final score. It doesn't really tell the story of the game. I've got a board here which will tell you the story of the game, the stats board, which will give us a really accurate reflection of how this game played out. Look at those attempts on goal, those shots on target, the corners. I mean, it's so heavily weighted in favour of the Ottawa Rapid.
It certainly is, and that's why this scoreline was 3-1. There was many more chances. You saw 29, 14 of those on target. Only 3 were found in the back of the net, but the chances were definitely there. The creation was most definitely there, and the better team today walked away with a win.
And as a result, the Ottawa Rapid establish a 4-point lead over the Montreal Roses at the top of the NSL. Huddles going on post-game. Mellenhorst amongst the scorers for the Ottawa Rapid today. Elsewhere, by the way, I can tell you down east that my information is that AFC Toronto have taken the lead against the Halifax Tides. That is the latest score that kicked off at 3 p.m. Eastern. Indeed, it is the half-time score, as you can see there. That game will continue on CBC Gem. Ottawa Rapid convincing winners over the Calgary Wild. Today, Montreal Roses taking 3 points in emphatic style against the champions yesterday. Next matches in week 12, doubleheader coming your way Saturday next week. AFC Toronto against the Ottawa Rapid, and then at 7 Eastern, we're at McMahon Stadium for the Calgary Wild against Vancouver Rise. And Sunday at 4 Eastern, the Montreal Roses have home advantage over the Halifax Tides. Another successful day at the office for Katrina Peterson. and those in dark blue, the Ottawa Rapids, continue to rise at the top of the NSL. On behalf of Jessica Lisi and our entire team, I'm Nigel Reid. Thank you so much for watching.